G'day fellas, and welcome to a brand new show match that is coming at you right before the Red Bull Wololo Legacy. Sporting it on the north side of the map, playing in the teal as the Malians, it's Crackety here. And on the south side of the map, in the color orange, playing as the Ottomans, representing MYI, it's Zerton. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a bit of an interesting show match. Let's start it off by splitting or turning that one over because we've got Crackety on the left, ever so slightly, and on the right side we have got Zerton. We have got a very interesting show match for you today. So this game that is coming to you live will be posted on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, there's a really good chance right now that Red Bull Wololo is live. So go check the link in the description. Go check that stream out. You can actually watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on Twitch. So whatever floats your boat, you can do that. But these players, not these two in particular, but we're going to have some of the world's best players playing out on the Red Bull Wololo. So go say g'day. So how does this work? What's this show match that I've worked on that I've got these two incredible players here who just barely missed out on their own ticket to qualify at the Red Bull Wololo. Well, we'll follow along this scout, so we've got a bit of a moving screen, and I'll bring this bad boy up for you. So the way that it works, players start off playing on as Malians versus the Ottomans. Every single map here is Dry Arabia. Every single biome is going to be, I'll pull it off your screen so you can see, we've got the brand new biome, which is my favorite biome by far, Mediterranean. So all games are played on Mediterranean, all maps are Dry Arabia. So the way it works is if you win a game, you must play a new civilization. If you lose a game, you must play an OG civilization. Essentially, what's going to happen is the loser of the first game, let's say that's Crackety, he's going to then switch out to one of the OG civs, whereas Zerton is going to switch from the Ottomans to the Malians. And he's going to keep flipping between those two civs until eventually he loses. And at that point where you lose, you are going to be picking one of the old civilizations. Now, how does this show match finish? Well, this show match finishes when you've got no more civilizations left to pick. So let's say, as an example, you get down to your last civilization, maybe it's the Chinese, and you manage to win with it, even though you've got no civilizations left. Technically, you do because of the new civilizations. If you lose that final game with a new civilization, then you're out. So the smallest amount of games that can be in this show match, I think, is 9. While the largest amount of games that can be in this show match is 16. So that is it. That is the introduction. I hope that makes sense for you. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments. And of course, I probably won't get back to you because I'll be in Germany casting the Red Bull Wololo. But, maybe someone else will answer for you. Maybe they've understood. A little bit of an interesting opening here coming through from Zerton. Now, when it comes to the civilizations, Crackety here didn't actually have a preference about which civilization he played, whereas Zerton said he's happy to take the Ottomans. So that is how we got these civilizations. So a little bit of an interesting matchup. I'm a big fan of the Ottomans in this matchup. I think they've got quite a good opening, just simply because when it comes to the Malians are always going to be looking for that pit mine, that early aggressive pit mine, and you can see right here that is going to be taken advantage of by Zerton, and straight away he's just rallied towards his position. Now he's going to be able to begin working on the houses. So nice little advantage there that you can gain from that early military school, because you do want to bring it out as quickly as possible. And we've got 4 villages now beginning to drop down the landmark, and it is going to be the Twin Minaret Madrasa, so no real surprise there. This landmark is pretty popular at the moment. I think this is by far the better of the landmarks. I say by far. I don't know if it's by far, but it's still a pretty damn good landmark when you compare it to the other landmark, the trade landmark. But we do have that villager now coming out for Crackety. He's looking to try and defend this position, throw out a little bit of repairs onto this house now. Crackety going with a single straggler opening. You can tell that by the 6 houses that he's got here. Sometimes you see players go for 2 houses, sometimes 4, sometimes 6, sometimes 8. They fill out the whole damn thing, but Crackety just going to be going for 6 houses here. Now, we do have the age up coming through as well for him. It's going to be the Mansa Quarry. No real surprises there, so pretty standard openings for both of these players so far, but military school definitely putting on some early pressure as the second spearman now making its way out towards the pit mine. We'll take a look back on the base of Zerton, but I should say hold your phone, because I suspect Crackety might be up there. The age up timings are pretty close here, but we do now have stone being taken here by Zerton. When it comes to the resources he's got in the bank, just a little bit over 100, so we'll be able to afford a stable in the event that when he's aged up. Speaking of age up, we've got Crackety that's now aged up, and look at this aggression coming out already from Zerton, being very annoying, very cheeky. It's going to be an archery range response from Crackety. Zerton also aging up on the other side of the map. And now, do we see a stable? That's going to be the question. And how is he going to be looking to build his base? One of the big things you're going to be thinking about when you're playing as the Ottomans is, how am I building my base? Because the blacksmith is something that you really want to try and take advantage of. You want to minimize the amount of blacksmiths that you do make throughout the game. Ideally, you know, you're probably thinking about 2 or 3 at the end game, but there are situations where you're just going to be putting down so damn many. So it looks like the first house is going to be going down. Zerton finally claiming a victim of this early aggression. Next spearman is also coming out. Let's take a look and see. He's actually going to be putting his military school on archers. Archer now going to be coming out from Crackety. Going to be looking to repel this, and Zerton going to be ducking out of there real quick. There we go. Ducking out immediately, and now I suspect we'll probably see 1, 2, 3 houses put down around the pit mine. Now, one of the things that sort of indicates to me that Crackety might be looking to play a little bit longer in the feudal age is the fact that he didn't leave space for a mining camp here. So this is an interesting position because it's basically saying this safe gold mine that I've got, I'm only going to be gathering gold through the mechanics of the houses. But it's not the only gold mine he's got, and it's not the only pit mine he's got. This gets scouted out by Zerton as well. Question is as to whether he goes over towards that side. He's going to be retreating back to his base, and the second military school's coming down now. Stable has been added in, gathering up stone, or at least he was gathering up stone. He's on 9 stone at the moment, so just going to be sticking with that one base play for the moment. So both players not really thinking about a second town center. Crackety, ooh, for me, that's loud. I don't know if that's loud for you guys. I always talk about how damn loud that is. But we can take a look at the blacksmith. Nice little spot that he's got here for it. Actually hits all 3 of these production buildings. We'll double check and see how he's going on the other side of the map, though, as we do see Scout just spotting in on the enemy. Still no villagers on stone, so just quite happy to chill out for the moment. And an outpost is going to be coming down at the moment. Now he's got enough stone to get the emplacement for it, but I guess it goes to show the way that Crackety's thinking about this. And look at this, we've got a 1 base cow build coming in here from Crackety. This is something I've not seen before. Look at this, a very early Malian cow boom that we've got going on. I've never once seen this before. Especially this early. Normally it's your 2 TC into cows or even 3 TC into cow, but not going to be the case today. Double barracks now going to be coming out as well as this push continues forward. Once we do see the arrows that's coming through on the outpost, I suspect this push is probably going to get shut down, but you can see that the Donzos coming out with the archers, looking to try and defend against the Spahi as they move around. Spahi trying their best to poke in on this position, but Donzo's going to be able to repair it. We now hear the scout on the south side almost getting intercepted by Crackety. He's managed to make it his move away, but Spahi going to be coming in, trying to clean it up, but I think the scout, oh gosh, it's going to be close as to whether that gets out. I think he probably gets out. He should be able to lure it back towards his position. Fortunately, these spears are not Donzos, so they're not going to be able to throw off that arrow. But speaking of Donzos, there we go. Looking to try and return fire. The scout on 2 health, managing to survive. I think he would have been able to follow and hit with the Donzo arrow, but this is absolute, like, I am witnessing right now something that we have not witnessed before. We have never seen super duper early cows. These bad boys came in at, what, 6 minutes? And we're now seeing more cows, so I think I'm going to go get a screenshot of that. That one's going on the thumbnail right there. Look at this, the super early cow boom coming in from Crackety in the first game of this show match. Exciting stuff to see. Already new strategies coming out, stuff that we didn't expect we would see. But we'll ride on the other side of the map. We'll see how Zerton's doing as he continues applying pressure towards the pit mine of Crackety. Going to be looking to start sieging down the house and begin moving out military units. We'll check in with him shortly, but we can see that no stone being gathered means that there's no chance of a second town center, at least at this point in the game. More upgrades coming through. Double broadaxe. He's also picked up balanced projectiles. And look at the Donzos throwing off towards the spearman. Keep in mind the Donzos incredibly fast, 1.25 movement speed, the same as that archer. And we now start to see javelin throwers getting mixed in as well. So Crackety looking to really stick it out in this feudal age. Going to switch over now to Crackety's position and see how he goes. And look at the Donzos just continuing to chase right now, throwing off their spears. Now, the spears do have a minimum range distance. You can see this Donzo, even with the ability to throw the javelin, won't do it because he's too close. So now if he comes back and throws, never mind. It would have happened. It would have happened. So, interestingly, all the gold that Crackety's getting is just quite literally going into cows. He's got a mill sitting next to his town center. He's not using it. He drops down a second mill on the berries. He's got the ability to get wheelbarrow. He can go for double broadaxe. He's not doing it. He is focused completely and 100% on dropping down more and more pastures. I'm loving this opening from him, but I don't know whether it's going to be successful. That's where the question comes in. And now that mass for Zerton really starting to build up. Take a look at this. We've also got wedge rivets. I think that's wedge rivets coming through. It's +1. It's steeled arrow as well as, I think I said balanced projectiles. Oh, no, iron undermesh. There we go. So I got to get the names. You know what? I should, before I leave to Germany, I should probably make sure I get the names of all of these upgrades. It's been a year. I should probably know it's just not +1 ranged armor anymore. It's iron undermesh. We'll get there eventually. I think I called it balanced projectiles, but I think that's +2 ranged attack. It is. So, a little bit awkward. Bit of an attack moving up now. Zerton pushing up with a huge, massive units. Archers looking to come in here, but keep in mind there are javelin throwers to come out, and the second military, I was going to say the second military point is coming through, the second vizier point going to be coming through. Question is where he goes and whether he's thinking to drop down that third military school or not. He's got no stone in the bag at the moment, which means that if he does want to do that, he's going to have to switch villages over onto stone. Now, at the moment, there's no way for us to know whether he's actually doing that. But you guys will be fortunate to know that this is a live game, which means that we can actually switch over to the regular UI. It goes a little bit fuzzy. You can see that the game, we're following behind right there. So we can see where he's gone, and he has gone into military campus. Now, we wouldn't be able to do that if this was oh gosh, look at that. That is not your screen. That is mine, I assure you. So we wouldn't be able to do that if that was a replay, because it would expose how long the game would go for. And that's not something that I want to do, even though I know that, you know, this is getting posted on YouTube. You're going to see, oh, it's a 37-minute video. But who knows? Maybe I put 6 minutes of filler content at the end where I'm talking about different types of salami. You know, it's something I'm a big fan of. Have we got ourselves a little bit of a mid-game scout battle? It's Warrior Scout, though. You don't want to mess with the Warrior Scout. No, no, no. Crackety bringing out the Warrior Scouts and already starting to switch into the Sofas. Look at this. We got 3 Sofa and a Warrior Scout up towards the north here, looking to try and pick up some of Zerton's cavalry, and going to be doing a decent job here, getting them out of here. Keep in mind, there's no meta at the moment to buff up the movement speed of these units, and obviously no meta to help defend against the +2 attack, or rather, with the +2 melee defense. But now we can see all of the houses have come through on the pit mine. By the same token, over on this pit mine, we do have the mining camp that's come in. He's also got the double outpost, so that one base play is definitely a popular choice, at least at the moment. Now, keep in mind, these two players have been practicing with people at the Red Bull all along. We don't know who they've been practicing. My suspicions are that MYI Zerton has been practicing with MYI the Mister, because they're in the same clan. And my suspicion is Crackety's been practicing with Voldemort, aka the Muslim. So that's my suspicion, but these guys are 100% up to the meta when it comes to the pup and the way that this game plays. So when it comes to one base styles, you can suspect that 2 town centers might be a thing of the past, and perhaps, you know, I remember playing a game against Marine Lord early on in Age of Empires 4, and I remember he added a second town center at 9 minutes. And I'm thinking, who is this guy adding town centers at 9 minutes? You play one base, or you play 2 base. You don't play this 1 base into 2 base. But here we could see that there might be that potential for players to think about going into that second base. Now, I do need to switch these guys back. Let me apologize, or let me do that. There we go. So when we came back in on the from the spectator UI, these ones were reversed. So I guess we'll leave it on this on resources at the moment, or income at the moment. Right on board with Zerton, and see how he is doing. We can see that he's got units out over onto the east side, and look at this, we've got the meta out here as well. He's got the attack speed bonus at the moment. Do we have that 3rd military school coming down? We do indeed have the 3rd military school coming down, and look at the production buildings out here. Double archery range, barracks, and a stable. So much production on this one base play. Absolutely loving it at the moment. Look at the upgrades as well. We've got all of the upgrades coming in at the moment. There's only one upgrade that he has failed to or neglected to get. It's going to be that horticulture upgrade. But this is one of the things about the Ottomans, okay? And a lot of people won't realize this, but hold on a minute. We'll talk about that later, as we got our Spahi engaging up towards the north here, going up against the Sofa. It looks like the Sofa going to have to fall back. Spahi holding strong, holding on with the attack speed drums, not utilizing the melee drums. But I guess that definitely makes sense. An extra, what is it, 15% attack speed? Yeah, not a bad little bonus right there. But going to be pushing this back. But one of the things to note, look at how long it takes for the look how long it takes for the Ottoman player to actually go onto additional food sources. Only just taking the first deer hunt now, only taking his berries in his base right now. That's what I'm talking about. 14 minutes in, and he's still sitting on the main resources. But we've got the engagement now beginning to come out. Plenty of units looking to battle it out here as the archer numbers really looking heavy. The meta going to be going down in the middle of the battle. We'll make sure that we take off all of the UI assets so that we can witness this battle in all of its glory. As the spy managed to hold in on the back line, but Crackety looking like he might be in a little bit of trouble. Javelin throwers on the backside, dishing out damage. Keep in mind these guys pump out the damage, but they've got to make sure that they're hitting the right units. They've got plenty of ranged armor, so they should be able to hold on, but it's not looking pretty for him at the moment. We'll pull back in the UI and give you guys a bit more of an idea as to how the economies are going throughout this. Villager count 49 versus 46, so Crackety slightly ahead, and keep in mind he's got those pit mines working for him. On the other side, though, Zerton, while he doesn't have pit mines, has got military schools, which is going to be pumping out those free units, and oh my lord, there it goes again. So, yeah, very, very interesting to note that you've got one berry patch, two berry patches down here for Zerton, and you've got the third berry patch, which is only being exhausted now. He's been on his sheep, he's been on the twin minaret madrasa for all this time, and only just moving out to the deer in the last minute or so. No chance of even thinking about this before the 15-minute mark. You can see only 15 minutes now coming out, and you're just moving a handful of villagers out here, 5 villagers. So, loving this play style here from the Ottomans, but we got ourselves a little bit of a problem. Crackety getting caught with his pants down as the villagers come out to try and put down a wall, but fortunately Zerton's not looking when the pants were down. Only one villager going to be going down. Crackety trying to delay this game a little bit longer. He's got the cow boom behind this. Look at all the cows coming up, and that's something that we haven't actually spoken about. We've got quite a few cows back here, so there is a potential window for Crackety to think about going to the castle age. A potential window for him to look to take advantage of the Grand Fulani Corral. Maybe think about some veteran upgrades. Maybe look at getting the upgrades for the sofa. You guys will know that the sofa is by far my favorite unit for the Malians, an incredibly strong unit, and it is all because of this upgrade. Imported armor, aka armor cladding, armor chatting, Chad import armor. It's the same upgrade that the men-at-arms for the English get. +2 armor to everything. It's melee, it's ranged. And it makes these guys an absolute beast. You're talking about 7 armor, ranged and melee in the castle age for these units, so watch out for them. They trade very effectively against pretty much everything with that high armor. But now we've got a little bit of a raid coming through. It's only Spahi, so you don't have to worry. And now Spear's looking to get picked up. Fortunately, Zerton's got plenty of units back here, but he's going to back out for the moment, manages to take out a house. Not a whole lot of damage done. It's only 25 wood, and now we've got ourselves an A-jump coming through. It's going to be the MIA coming in for Zerton. The Mehmed Imperial Armory going to be dropping down the blacksmith immediately next to it, and not making the mistake of moving it away from the town center. You want to keep this bad boy nice and close, because it is going to be giving you high value now. Your mangonel is going to be taking about 2 minutes. I think it's 2 minutes. Every mangonel, if you've got that blacksmith coming through. So it is a very nice landmark. You've got a very high siege pressure, and you force your enemy to doing one of two things. Number one, aging up themselves, or number two, playing a very heavy cavalry composition. And if there's one thing you love to play against as the Ottomans, it is a cavalry composition because of those Janissaries. Okay, we now see the mangonel coming through. Yeah, it's about 2 minutes and 10 seconds, I think. And look at the push coming out. I think Crackety realized that the age up was coming through, so he's pushed out. He's already on the other side of the map, and we get to see that very formidable composition in the feudal age. It's going to be javelin throwers and donzos, and he wants to get in here and try and dish out damage before that mangonel comes in. Another minute and 50 seconds before it does come out. A little bit of a raid down on the gold mine as well. We're going to enter into the cinematic mode because there is plenty of action to be had right here. Donzo's on the front side looking to defend up against the Spahi. Not a whole lot of damage coming out for him. Javelin throwers getting in there nice and tucked away. He's moving back towards that Mehmed Imperial Armory. Crackety knows that he is on a timer right now as to when that mangonel comes out. He knows it's going to be coming in, rappelling off the sofas as the villagers move out towards a hunt, I think. Archer's going to be holding in, looking to try and brute force down the archers and the javelin throwers of his enemy, but he's going to get stuck underneath the town center. A little bit of an awkward timing here. Crackety here holding the score lead at the moment, up by about 400. Villagers going to continue running away, but he can't wait for this mangonel. He needs this mangonel yesterday. He is struggling underneath the town center, managing to hold on. We see the veteran archers going to be coming through. +2. Do we have +2 on the way in? We'll double check. I need to see whether we got +2. +2 is in. Veteran archers going to be able to hold on, but Sofa's going to be coming in. Plenty of spears, looking to try and dish it out. I say plenty, there's only 2 of them, but look at this. The archer mass maintains. Spearmen out on the front side, and the free units from the Ottomans look like they're going to be keeping the head of Zerton above water for the moment. So beautiful hold there from Zerton. He waited for the veterancy, he waited for the +2, and he was able to pull a beautiful hold out right there. Let's bring that complete UI back in for you guys. Wonderful hold right there from Zerton up towards the north of the map. Walls now starting to come up for Crackety, and speaking of Crackety, he's now up to the castle age as well, going with that Grand Fulani Corral. Going to be buffing up all of these pastures, or all of these cattle ranches, rather. They are known as the cattle ranch. But we do see a big archer mass coming in on that south side. So one of the big things when I see an archer mass like this, I'm like, all right, let me at him. Let me at him. You better be spamming out Sofa right now, Crackety. That's all I want to see. Get that veterancy, get that imported armor. There it is, imported armor, veterancy, and he's going straight into it. Look at this. Resources at the moment, sitting at about 1,000 food a minute for both players. So not a bad amount of income for these guys. And Zerton looking to push up, looking to try and dish out some damage, but keep in mind, we're going to have that mangonel coming through shortly. There it is, on the way towards the enemy base. Outpost going to get denied here. Villager going to get taken out. Villager count still not that even. Crackety's pulled ahead quite a fair bit, so I'm suspecting there's been some villager kills. Yeah, there's been some villager kills. So 16 worker kills at the moment by Crackety. He's doing a decent job. Got to be careful, though, not to lose any more. plenty of units in here, and they're going to start picking them off. And this is where you got to be careful. There's this little bit of an awkward spot. So up against the Ottomans with their 9 damage. Keep in mind that the sofas with their imported armor, do not sleep on the sofa. They are incredibly strong. Going to be sitting at about 7 armor. Now, I'm not sure where those sofas are. In fact, where is the military right now for Crackety? I don't see anything. I don't see anything at all. I see units in queue. I see the upgrades coming through, but I don't see any units whatsoever. It says he's got 9 military. Oh, they're in the town center. They're in the town center. They're hiding. They're sitting in the town center for the moment. He's got to wait for that siege to come up, and we can see it coming up the rear with the gear. First knight of the day making its way onto the battlefield. Should be quite... I say first knight. It's not. It's the third night, but it's the first night I see. The first dark night that I've seen, that I've witnessed. But now we do see that those sofas coming out. So you can see they've got +3 armor at the moment. We've got +2 coming in for Crackety here. So that's balanced projectiles, +2 ranged attack. Now that little bit of a push coming through, and look at that, a bit of an overchop. Unfortunately, Zerton going to be able to break through. I love that the archers broke through to shoot at the palisade gate, help out. And now that push looking really, really strong right now for Zerton. Keep in mind, he's going to maintain siege pressure. These mangonels just keep coming out. They keep coming out for free. It's a beautiful landmark, the MI8. It's great to be buffed up when it comes to the blacksmith. So he's going to be able to push in and really dish out some damage here unless Crackety can respond. It's imperative here. I feel like he just goes heavy on sofas. But if he does do that, there's always the option for a big Janissary mass to come out. Now, we don't see any Janissaries in the mix at the moment. Mangonel shot coming out, going a little bit wide, a little bit short perhaps. Sofas moving in. Crackety looking to try and hold on. He's down about 50% of military production. Mangonel moving in, going to get shots onto the backside. It's a big hit. A little bit of the units not knowing exactly what to do. Sofas coming through. It looks like they're going to get taken out. Men-at-arms together with the spearmen. Going to be successful in taking it out. Donzo's on the front line. Archers on the backside. Everything moving out of the way. And unfortunately, Zerton steamrolling over Crackety. It looked like it might have been the other way just a few minutes earlier. But it definitely seems like at this point in the game, Crackety is unfortunately going to be losing a fair bit of production here. He's going to be looking to hold on. We see villagers moving towards the north side. Does he start thinking about moving into a mangonel himself? It would definitely be a bit of a help here. When it comes to production, we can see he's got 7 sofa in queue. If he'd taken this fight with 7 extra sofa, it would have been a different outcome. 7 sofa with all of these units, oh man, it would have been an absolutely different outcome, but that Mangonel's still moving forward right next to the stables. And look at this Mangonel managing to spot out that toll outpost, continuing to push through now. We see that the landmark is under attack as well as Zerton begins pushing into that base and now able to camp the production. Sitting in on top of that, Mangonel going to get off a decent shot right here, hitting the back line, and good night. Oh, almost good night, Sweet Prince. And once again, those sofas getting caught out of position. The men-at-arms going to be able to tank up the majority of their damage and still getting those Mangonel shots off. He's going to try and break away from this position, falling back. He knows that he can hold on. He's got a decent economy behind this. But the question is whether he's going to be allowed to do it. Zerton just continuing to pump in more and more units. Sofa looking to try and make a connection. Look like they're going to be able to do it. Able to tank out that Mangonel. So that's going to be a lot of that siege pressure alleviated for the moment. Where is it? There's the second one coming up. Give the man 30 seconds and he'll be under pressure once again. Town center still firing off 7 villagers inside. Firing off towards the men-at-arms and the knights as double knights now going to be running in towards a wood line. Question is whether it finds any villagers or not, and it looks like for the moment not going to be able to do it. We've got villagers that are moving outside the walls here. Crackety, known for his playstyle, he loves to how do you say it? He loves to prolong the games where upon or a little bit longer than what you think they would end. And that's why I'm never going to call it when I've got a Crackety game like this, just because I know what the guy's like. And now we see Zerton making the right decision, finding the important part of the economy here. This is basically killing villagers here. Now the question is, does he look to kill the cows as well? I would like to see him massacre the cows. Let's see if he actually does that, if he realizes, because these cows are still generating resources. We can see that they are... Okay, yeah, he's going to kill the cows. All right, we've got ourselves a massacre on our hands, boys. This is not looking pretty. Unfortunately for the cows, their days were numbered. And they're going to have to go into making some absolutely beautiful steaks right there as they are just getting... Look at this, completely destroyed. Keep in mind, these bad boys cost 100 gold each. So by killing these, he's killing... Not only is he killing 2,000 gold, but he's also killing the income of Crackety underneath this landmark. The whole idea of this landmark is so that you're able to buff up that food economy. And we can see the food economy now of Crackety is really starting to drop down as a forward keep. Also going to be dropped down here by Zerton, looking to really put the nail in the coffin. More and more units getting taken, or more and more cows getting taken out, rather. Look at the poor cows. A true massacre. We got to get the cinematic mode for this one. You know we got to see it. We got to watch these cows die in slow-mo. I mean, we can't slow-mo it, but we can cinematic mode it. And look at the archers just doing such a decent job. They've got so much value. They've got more value in this fight than they have throughout the rest of the game. Honestly, it's been impressive stuff. But the abuse definitely goes wild here with Zerton. He has slaughtered many a cow. And now you want to know something else that's a little bit sad? If Crackety wants to come back here and drop down more cattle ranches to put more cows in, he's going to need to clear the carcasses of the cows first. He's going to need to eat the cows so he can build, well, not that he can build the cows, but so he can put more cows down. And we can see that, I apologize, I was too busy talking about the cows, which is quite typical for me. I'm a big fan of the animal. But we can see that there were some horses down here who unfortunately lost their life in the quest to take out this forward keep. Zerton still putting on heaps of pressure. Veteran Donzo is going to get taken out very quickly by the archer mass, and we see another mangonel going to be making its way in across the map as well. We probably should have more mangonels. Where's that next mangonel? It's almost on the way in. Plenty of units, and now we start to see relics getting picked up out over on towards the west side. We've got a little bit of how would you say, a little bit of a satellite base, but now going to start working on those landmarks. So keep in mind, there's villagers inside, and once again, looking to try and prevent that keep from coming up. It's going to be the veteran sofas that make their way through, able to take out the villagers here. There's one villager that remains on this. It's full health, but if this villager goes, oh my lord, it's so damn close. The villager stands. The villager holds with 1 health, and the keep does not remain doubtful at all. No, sorry, Bob. Actually, where did the villager go? Where did the villager go? It had 1 health. What killed it? Something killed the villager. Something killed the villager. There was a villager. Wow. Okay. All right. I don't know how okay. Well, he's got backup. He's got backup. Apparently, it was a single javelin that killed him, but now Crackety in a bit of a difficult spot. 1,400 scored down at this point. Sacred Sites being taken. Relics being captured, and good game going to get called here. Crackety here going to be tapping out against a lesser player. He would have been able to hold it together, but unfortunately against a player as good as Zerton. Zerton knows exactly how you want to put the nail in the coffin. It is through the keep. So game 1, going to be going over to Zerton on the Ottomans. Fellas, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you check out the Red Bull lol. It might be live right bloody now, so go say good day. But let's double check what the economic stats were at the end of that game. We could see Crackety had a pretty decent rise when it came to his economic numbers, or his economic count. Now, I suspect this might be the cows. Do cows count as economic units? I think they do. I think a cow is an economic unit. So, I mean, right now is a great time to make a joke about somebody's mum, but I'm not going to do that because, look, I'm impressed. 178 units killed by Zerton, 144 by Crackety. Fellas, game number 2 is going to be coming up. We're just going to go over the rules for you guys. So now that Zerton has won the first game, that means Crackety is going to be moving to one of the OG civs, while Zerton's going to have to play the Malians. So catch up on the second game. It'll be coming right up. Thank you so much for watching.